Hallo, herzlich willkommen. Mein Name ist Esa Pfirsich. Wir sind hier heute auf der SoundtrackCologne von Kölncampus und interviewen heute Ginge Anvik. Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Um, so let's start with some maybe personal questions, because since you're a film composer, what is actually your favorite movie?
It's actually a difficult question because I like a lot of different movies.
Okay.
I mean,
Just name one.
the first really wonderful movie experience for me was E.T., I
Okay.
think. Uh, just after I saw just the garbage chute scene from Star Wars, I saw it on 8 millimeter in a friend's basement. There was a bootleg. That blew my mind, but it wasn't it wasn't the whole picture because there was no sound. So E.T. was probably the first. I was after that. I was a huge sci-fi fan and film music fan, and yeah. But so and there's been so many good movies after that that it would be stupid to single out some of them. But that one was kind of a breakthrough for me. Yeah.
Since you mentioned that you started to become a sci-fi fan, so far the movies or series you created the score for are, well, what I have seen are mostly like comedian movies or crime movies. Would you also like to create a score for maybe sci-fi? Is that something you would like to do?
Absolutely, but there are not that many sci-fi movies getting made in Norway. So I'm trying to encourage directors to make sci-fi movies. And I mean, one time I made there was a love scene, and I had made some music for it, or suggestion for how we should do the scene, how we should score it, and the director said, "Well, King, it sounds almost like there's a spaceship landing. This is for another movie." And then he started talking about he wanted maybe to do a sci-fi movie in the future. Maybe we could do this then. And
So
then he moved to the
you already
States.
know how to do it.
Oh, yes, 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 yes.
Okay, cool. Like, okay, beside from sci-fi, is there any other genre maybe, or kind of movie like thriller or comedian or romantic movies? Is there anything else where you always thought, okay, I want to do a score for this, maybe something which is also possible in Norway, since you
Yeah.
said that sci-fi isn't really a Norway
Yeah,
thing?
yeah, yeah. Well, the thing is that I have preferences, but when I follow my preferences, I sometimes get bored because at one time I had a period in my life where I only rented movies with U-boats, submarines on the cover, and then you're going to see a lot of shit. You have Das Boot, which is a really good one, but there are a lot of really terrible movies with U-boats on the cover. And the good thing is that when people take me to movies that I didn't really plan to go and watch, I often get really really good surprises. So I try to not limit myself too much because
you see it more like a challenge to.
yes,
Okay.
and I mean you could have romantic comedies that just blow you away, and you have good and bad stories in every genre. So it all depends on the story. If it's an interesting story, it's almost like I'm afraid to touch it because I remember doing this film about children that are in governmental care because of mistreatment, and I saw the edit without the music, and I thought I can completely destroy this by doing anything. I'm scared to touch it because it was so good, and that's not maybe my first thought when I want to go to the movies. I want to eat popcorn. I don't want to get depressed.
Okay.
But that was one of the most rewarding movies I'd made. So
But in the end, did you do this
yeah,
score for the
yeah, I
film?
did.
Oh, okay.
I did. But it was scary because I didn't want to ruin it.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, so I tend to uh, not not limit myself to what I do. Yeah.
Okay. Is there any instrument you always use for the score, or you would like to use it one time?
It's called a Persephone. It's French.
Okay.
I think I even have a recording of it. I'll show you because he told me on the panel here. He told me to make a recording of it and bring it. It's a small instrument, yay big, and it got a stripe on it. And it's a synthesizer. It has one oscillator, and you kind of control the oscillator just by stroking your finger over the stripe. So it sounds like Mars Attacks. So it's like woo, like this. And I tend to bring it in almost all movies. I think.
Okay, now I understand why it sounds like a spaceship is landing.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
But now but it can also the challenge is to bring it into the orchestra without having it sound like a spaceship landing.
But do you always work with an orchestra?
No, but lately I've been doing a lot of it. But that's not where I came from at all. I came from electronica in the 90s, so I was playing raves and rock venues.
Okay.
So I had no background in orchestral music, but yeah, the last years I've been doing a lot of orchestra. Yeah.
Yeah, so far you worked on Norwegian movies. Do you want to remain like this, or maybe would you like to go to Hollywood as well? So how are your future plans about this?
I just run as long as I can, I guess, and I work for anybody who wants me in a way. So I would like to go to Europe, I think, because I think we have maybe some same understanding of work ethics, or how it is okay for people to work. We work really crazy hours in Norway, but there is a way the editing is in the beginning, and this is going to get really technical. So I'm just going to stop it right there and say that I love working in Norway. I love working in Europe. Hollywood, I'm not so sure. Okay. Norway is really small. So you get to know when you've been there for in the business in Norway for a while, and you get to know people, and which is really good because then it's easier to work with people that you have a relationship with from before. But still, it's being a small country. It's I mean, it would be nice to do something in Europe. I'm trying to do something in Sweden now, and we'll see. I mean, it's difficult to get. You probably need an agent for that or something. I don't really know how to sell myself.
Okay.
So, but if I need an agent, that's something I'll have to think about. I don't know.